everyone, my name is Missy and today I'm outside with Paul and we are going to walk around and show you my gardens, or lack thereof. I'm calling this postpartum pandemic post-demic gardening. I obviously haven't really been able to get out to nurseries this year because of the pandemic, and this little guy has kept me busy, so I haven't been able to do too much gardening like I usually do, so which is fine. It's okay. You don't have to get everything done, especially if you're a new mom. So I figured I'd just show you what it looks like. Starting over here. That's what I showed you. It's okay. It's okay. You're not weeding. It's the pandemic. Nobody's coming to your house, most likely. Well, at least in our case anyway. So I'll see if I can find a shot of this. But these are 5 bushes that I planted, and they're covered in weeds right now. So it's also really hot, so I don't feel like doing a lot of weeding. But I planted flowers in between these bushes last year. It looked really pretty, and I did not get around to doing that this year. I do have to say though, I am pretty proud of these guys. So this right here is a hosta that I rescued. It was just randomly in our woods. Somebody just chucked it there, I guess. But these I have never seen bloom because of the deer that we have. The deer come in and will just annihilate blooms in like a day. But I don't know if you can pick it up, but we have this guy here. I got him on Amazon. He it's a, oh gosh, what are these things called? A motion censored sprinkler. So anytime anything hits here, the water sprinkler goes off at night, pretty much, which is, so far, has kept them away. The bees absolutely love these flowers. They're just really pretty. I don't know if I'm keeping these here next year. This dead space right here, there was actually a small, like, ornamental Japanese maple that we took down because it was getting diseased. So I don't know what this is going to look like next year. These what are these things called? Hydrangeas were here when we bought the house, and they just don't really seem to be performing as much as one I'm going to show you in a second. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. I like rhododendrons in this area is what I'm thinking. So we shall see. This is the piece de resistance of pandemic postpartum gardening. Mostly weeds. You can see my knockout roses are in here. The deer seem to really like the knockout roses, so I haven't had too many blooms yet. Or Japanese beetles, I'm guessing. Like, look at this. It's just like infested Japanese beetles. But I really haven't had time to do anything about it, so it is what it is. And also what's kind of funny is we keep pumpkins for Halloween in front of our house, and the squirrels actually ate them, which is weird. But I have a pumpkin growing here. And my husband's not in love with this, but why not? Why not have a pumpkin in your front yard? We'll see what happens. Here's another one of the side gardens right by our garage. You can see it's covered in weeds as well, but it's fine. It's fine. These are chrysanthemums for the last couple years that have gotten ginormous. I do love them, but I think if I can this fall, or maybe next spring if they come back, I think I'm going to move them around a little bit because they're a little cluster. It was not that big when I originally planted it, so you can see they get huge. And then my gladiolus were nice and pretty up here against the wall. You can see the purple things mixed in there, but we had a bad storm that knocked them all down, so I got to go on to online next year and see if I can find some kind of device to keep them back. This poor guy, or this phlox, I don't know if you can pick it up. Every time it starts blooming, our dear friend comes and annihilates it. So that's what that looks like. Over here, my husband just did this project yesterday. He weeded this. This was also covered in weeds. And we put this netting around this guy. I don't know if you can see, because last year the deer came in and annihilated this one as well. But this is a Proven Winners Firelight Hydrangea. So it gets these white puffs that you see right now. And they will turn a beautiful, like, magenta color. And unfortunately last year the deer ate all of maybe just 2 of these little white puffs, because what I'll do is I'll put out these white puffs now, and it won't put any others out really in the summer, and they just keep changing color. So we didn't really get to see the full effect last year, but hopefully we will this year. Over here I wanted to show you, I did not buy these. These are petunias. They are supposed to be annuals. They're not supposed to come back, but through the wonder of Mother Nature, I had a bunch of what I call volunteers. They popped up throughout my garden. I just kept putting them in pots. I have some over here. I just found these guys, so I planted those yesterday as well. But what's odd is I didn't really get a lot of pink, but they're all coming in as pink, which is interesting. This garden right here is kind of a hot mess. Those are my butterfly bushes. I'm gonna get a peek out so you can see it. There's a lot of weeds in here. I gotta clean this up. And coneflowers being buried in there, the bees and hummingbirds love. My cannas are starting to bloom right by my hummingbird feeder that's empty. The hummingbirds seem to love the cannas. And these guys are actually, last year when I was pregnant, I planted a bunch of onions in my flower gardens just to have, and apparently I missed a ton. And they came back with these white orb flowers. Kind of remind me of allium, but the bumblebees, which it's early in the morning, they're not out right now, but the bumblebees absolutely love them. They're a little messy, but like I said, it's okay. So here's another shot of these butterfly bushes. It is only July 5th, and they are this big already, which is crazy. They're about half that size last year, so I don't know. I might end up moving those. They're a little too close to the deck. It looks a little messy, but at this point, we're just enjoying it. Well, that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you guys in my garden. So if this year you're not able to get to nurseries, or you're postpartum like me and not able to get outside your garden, it's totally fine. You're fine. The gardens will be fine. There's always next year, which is what I'm telling myself. So, well, I'll end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time.